Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of Pana Gringo. That's right, the podcast for living in Panama. And we're here with our third episode, and I'm super excited about my two lovely guests today. You guys are going to be excited about this too, because we're going to talk about medical in Panama and developments here in Panama. And my first guest today, a good friend who I've known for a long time, who's doing big things at Pacifica Salud, also known as the John Hopkins Affiliate Hospital here in Panama. That's how all of us gringos know it. Mr. Mike Kelly, how you doing, my friend?
I'm good, man.
It's always good to see you.
Oh, man, I'm glad to be here.
You always got a beautiful smile on, looking sharp.
You know, I'm always happy. What can I say?
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Well, you got a great family, a great job, and a great life here, huh?
I do. Yeah, I got my two kids that have grown up here. I've been here for 14 years. I mean, this is it for me, man. I'm never leaving.
Well, I love that you brought that up because, obviously I want to talk about medical, and there's so many things happening in Panama, new things happening, good programs for, foreigners, but not only foreigners, but, people that have been in the service, in the military. But first, I want to talk about your life here. What brought you to Panama in the first place?
Yeah, I mean, I got here 14 years ago. My wife is Panamanian, Stephanie.
Yep.
And I met her in San Diego. We were both going to college there. And,
Okay, so she came to San Diego.
She was in San Diego. Yeah, she straight out of high school.
And she roped you in. She was like, you're coming to Panama with me.
I lived in Costa Rica before, so I was there for about a year. And so when I came back, I was, my whole goal was to get back to Costa Rica.
Of course.
I was, trying to, find that opportunity. And I met Stephanie, and, she was from Panama.
God is good.
Panama's close to Costa Rica. I can deal with that. I can do Panama. And so, we met, and that was 2005 when I met her. And so I would come down here every year with her, to see the family. And, she would take me to Bocas del Toro and all these places. So I knew Panama really well before I moved here. But we had spent from about 2005 to 2013 after we both graduated, and we worked in California because I'm from Southern California, and we lived around San Diego and Orange County until we moved here. The reason we moved was because our daughter was born, and so basically we were like, yeah, it's time. When you have
what a good move to make 14 years ago. I mean, obviously we see a lot more craziness happening in the U.S. Right now. Like a lot of my friends and family say, man, how did you know? Yeah. Like, I don't know. I just had a hunch, and the fact that I came down here on a expedition trip to find gold in a river, and just so happened, being a universal person, big on energy. I mean, I just knew that this culture, the Panamanian culture, and the expats that call Panama home, like that, amongst the weather, amongst lifestyle, amongst everything, I think is my favorite part. Is just cool expats like yourself. Melissa, who we're going to have on later in the show, she's from Colombia, and, everybody is from different countries. I mean, there's a lot of great Panamanians too, don't get me wrong, but a lot of my friends are from different countries, and they all are unique and interesting individuals. So it's like all of these out-of-the-box people came from their home countries and now call Panama home. Yeah,
I mean, when I got here, I kind of integrated with my wife's friends, so a lot of my friends were Panamanians, her friends that she grew up with.
Of course.
And, being an expat 14 years ago wasn't what it is now. It wasn't a big thing because there weren't that many here compared to now.
And it was more retirees.
Yeah, there were some retirees. Most of them were in Boquete.
Yeah.
But, here I moved into the city, and, there weren't, everything that I did, because my first business was actually in healthcare. I managed a medical facility, a primary care medical center. And I started the business, and I ran it for 8 years, and I didn't have anyone to really tell me, like, hey, do this, don't do that, don't do that. I wish I had people to tell me, don't do this and this, because I really learned the hard way in a lot of ways, trial and error. So, for me, it was a very valuable experience to learn how business works in Panama, and, I kind of have to do everything, trial by fire. And so it worked out great. I mean, I learned a lot. I've been in healthcare, the whole time. I ventured into some other things. I got into relocation and real estate, which I still am involved in. But, healthcare for me here just really was
That's your number one.
It's what I got into, and I love it.
And now you have a massive position, assisting not only expats living here, but medical tourism.
Yeah.
And you know, the Pacific Salud, I mean, this is the only branded Johns Hopkins affiliate hospital in Latin America, right?
Yeah. It's the only hospital in all of Latin America that is affiliated with Johns Hopkins, and that started when the hospital opened in 2006. So they actually partnered with Johns Hopkins to start the hospital. So they, throughout the whole process, Johns Hopkins was
had
involved.
That standardization.
Yeah, and it's all, you know, the thing with the affiliation, you know, people ask, like, what is it? You just, you know, is it just a name? You just put Johns Hopkins on there? But that's not the case. You know, Pacifica Salud is, you know, meets the highest standards in healthcare. And that's something that happens, it's continuous. I mean, it's not like that happened and now we just kind of cruise. Johns Hopkins, every year, they come over for about a week to the hospital.
And analyze, huh?
And they are just, you know, checking everything. And it's, you know, everyone's, you know, it's a tense week, you know, everyone's on pins and needles. But, you know, the thing is that we maintain it all the time. So once they get here, we're already prepared, you know.
Well,
what I mean?
And didn't I read something about you guys were just awarded like top 10 hospitals in Latin America?
Yeah, so we were just added to the list of the top 10 hospitals in all of Latin America, which is a huge feat because there are some very good hospitals in Colombia, in Mexico. There are some of the, you know, top hospitals in the world, and we're on that list. So we're pretty proud of that. It's a cool distinction. You know?
Of course. And unfortunately, I've had quite a few medical experiences. You know, I'm getting older, and I've actually been in your hospital quite a few times in the past 365 days, and I have to say, I'm very impressed. You know, I don't like to put down the U.S., and I try not to, but I feel like here in Panama, you're more of a person than a number.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I can write my doctor at 10 o'clock at night, like, hey, I'm feeling this, and I'll get a response.
Yeah.
Most doctors, you know, some of them, you know, they're really busy, but most of the time, I just feel like I really have like a human connection. And again, maybe I just don't know that in the U.S. because I left when I was, 29 years old, and it didn't have any medical.
You were spending too much time in hospitals back then.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah, but what you're saying, I hear it all the time. You know, it's so much more personalized here. You know, in the United States, healthcare is so driven by insurance. You know, so these doctors, they know, like, in order to get paid, they have to see, you know, X amount of patients every day. And so you're getting in there, they're checking, you know, they're getting through there in 10 minutes or less. They barely look up at you, and you're out. You know, here you can sit with an hour or more with a doctor, and they'll actually sit there and ask about your history. They want to get to know about you, your family, what you do. I mean, it's a whole different deal. And that's one of the biggest kind of, you know, shocks maybe, you know, or you know.
A pro.
Yeah, I mean, you know, people that, you know, expats, when they have that experience with doctors here, they're just blown away. It's like, I can't believe I sat here for an hour with this doctor.
Or a Canadian client, they're like, hey, I really need to see a skin doctor. I'm like, okay, let me write her. 2 or 3. Yeah, well, what day? No, today. I can see her today, not 6 months from today?
Yeah,
wow.
Like I can get you in, you know, in my role at the hospital, you know, what I do for expats, you know, part of our concierge service that we provide is that I can schedule an appointment with a medical specialist and, you know, have you in there in a day or two. I mean, for most specialties. So, like you said, Canadians, they don't understand that.
They're just flabbergasted. They're like, what?
Like a day or a year, you know? And that's one of the big things with medical tourism. The reason that we have so many Canadians coming down for, you know, they're not, you know, Canadians they're not expats. They don't come here to live. They just come here for medical procedures because even though it's free in Canada, the wait times are insane.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you have to wait a year for a surgery and you need a surgery, you don't want to wait a week for that. It's something.
Well, and I hear a lot of people doing like hip replacements or a knee replacement or shoulder replacement. You know, something that in the U.S. it costs, you know, I don't know exactly, but $80,000-$90,000 down here, around 20. So that's a huge difference for someone that doesn't have insurance or for some reason they're not covered under that. So yeah, I mean, all big things, and then of course, people throughout the world that are coming here for different things. You know, the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know, you know, there's a lot of people that come over because, you know, in maybe a smaller island in the Caribbean islands, they don't offer a certain medical procedure, which a lot of our hospitals, your hospital and other hospitals, you know, you guys have a lot of great machinery that, again, allow you to use robotics and do procedures that aren't able to be done on these islands.
Yeah, we have the cutting edge equipment, robotics for those types of surgeries. And, you know, you mentioned the Caribbean. We get a lot of patients that come from the Caribbean. You have hospitals there, but they're very limited.
Yes.
So, you know, a lot of Americans that live there in the Caribbean, you know, and also, you know, from, you know, various islands where they come here and they have doctors in those hospitals that refer here to Pacifica Salud because they know, you know, we just have a really good reputation for that. So you have the Caribbean, you have the United States, because as you mentioned, the United States, what happens is a lot of people need a procedure, but their insurance might not cover it. So that's a big thing. It's like, okay, if you have insurance, but you're not covered, now you got to pay that out of pocket. So if you're looking at
20,000 is a big difference than 90,000.
Exactly. If you're looking at the $100,000 procedure, and here you can pay a fraction of that, then you're coming down here.
Of course.
Right? And we compete. It's interesting with medical tourism because Pacifica Salud has really become one of the top hospitals for medical tourism. And, you know, that has to do with our reputation. Of course, Johns Hopkins affiliation. We're also accredited by the Joint Commission International, which is one of the top accreditations for international hospitals. Just holds you up to the highest international standards for healthcare. So they, you know, we have these accreditations that back up our reputation. And so, you know, people from the United States are looking seriously down here, and where before they might have looked at Colombia or Mexico, those countries are having their issues. It's not to say that there's very good healthcare in Colombia and Mexico, right?
But there's other things going on.
Yeah, there's other things. So safety's an issue, right?
Yeah,
so
big time.
with Colombia, you know, a lot of Americans still have this unease about it because of, you know, the issues that happened. And then Mexico is just a mess right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, Panama, it's the safest country in Latin America. You know,
It's the safest place I've ever been to.
Yeah, you can walk.
I've been traveling a lot lately. I've gone to Colombia, I've gone to Peru, I've gone to Italy. You know, like everywhere I went in Italy a few weeks ago, it was that sign here and this sign here, watch for pickpocketers.
Yeah.
I don't hear people getting pickpocketed in Panama.
I never hear about that.
You know, I'll walk down the street. Like I tell people, I'll walk through the ghetto with a Rolex on. Like I feel comfortable. I don't feel like I've never felt threatened here. And I really, that's again, one of the big things I appreciate, not only for myself, but being a father, you know, it's like having that safety is probably one of the top.
Well, yeah, having kids too, you know, like, you know, we have that perspective, you know, like I never worry about my kids at school, you know, not, you know, I feel totally safe that they're at school, not, you know, some weirdo's not going to show up and, you know,
do something cuckoo birds.
You know, that's just not a worry that we have here. I've been, you know, all this time I've never had any issues walking down the streets at night in Casco Viejo. I mean, you know, I've never had issues. Now, it's, you know, I always tell people,
don't be
common
stupid.
sense. Yeah, common sense. Don't walk down a
Don't
dark
be
alley.
taking $10,000 and flashing it everywhere. But
I mean, but would you do that anywhere in the world? You know, I mean, even in the safest cities in, you know, Orange County, you know, you're gonna. There's certain areas where at night you might be, you might not want to walk by yourself.
Or just don't say certain things. You know,
Yeah.
don't talk about how much money you got in your pocket or
Right.
Or you know, again, little things. Just use common sense.
Use common
Obviously,
sense,
no
yeah.
matter where you're at in the world.
Yeah, you can never say it's, you know, I don't. It's not 100% safe. You have to be. You have to have common sense. But if you do, Panama City is, you know, obviously as far as safety, top in Latin America. So, you know, with that, you know, as far as medical tourism goes, you know, we promote the country a lot. You know, it's like we compete with other countries, and in order to do that, we just show people what Panama is. You know, it's a safe country. We use the U.S. dollar. It's convenient. It's the hub of the Americas. It's the hub of the world.
Always warm. It's always summer.
Yeah, so the weather's always nice. I mean, most people, unless you're from Miami, Florida, are, you know, come down here and they love the weather, you know.
Dude, I've been here 14 years. I still love the weather. I mean,
I walk around in pants like this outside, and I'm fine because I'm so used to it. You know?
you're acclimated.
I mean, I'm out here.
Well, you come from San Diego too. It's not like
Yeah.
you came. I'm from the Pacific Northwest, where it's like, whew, talk about cold. Not cold enough to snow, but cold.
Yeah, I mean, Southern California gets chilly.
Yeah.
But here it's a consistent warm.
Yeah,
I mean,
all
it
the time.
either rains a little bit or it doesn't rain. You know?
It's
So,
beautiful. Life is
yeah.
good here.
Yeah, life is good. Nice people. So there are a lot of reasons now that people are looking at Panama, and we've kind of moved up into like probably the top. You know, I would say one of, if not the top, like, you know, position of, okay, if I'm looking to go to Latin America for a medical procedure, I'm seriously looking at Panama. And of course, we pop up just because of who we are. You know, Pacifica Salud, Johns Hopkins. You know, we check all the boxes. And I manage our medical tourism program, so I'm making a lot of efforts in, as far as marketing goes, and creating an experience. You know, so one of the things I've always believed in is getting testimonials, right? Like, we have these people that come down here and they have great experiences. So, hey, let's get that on video. Tell people about it. And so,
of course.
I think that's very powerful when you're, in any kind of business.
Any industry, especially in today's day and age where everything is on the internet, like I'm blown away when I look at our back office of YouTube, and 57% of people are watching our videos on a television, not on a tablet, not on a cell phone, but on an actual television. I'm like, wow, the times have changed, it's so you can go on. I mean, whether you're an 8-year-old child or a 75-year-old person, like, oh, I want to watch fishing. Oh, I'm interested in museums in Rome. Yeah. It's like you just have tons of information. So it's like it's really generated specific information and videos for whatever your interest levels are.
Yeah.
One of the other things that I get asked a lot, and I really wanted to ask you about, because I'm not totally clear, and obviously, why not ask the man that knows it all? Talk to me a little bit about the military programs here. Like, what are some of these medical programs that I hear about for veterans, and how does it work?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's one of the reasons I got hired at the hospital. I manage our veteran services program. We have a very significant military veteran population here in Panama, U.S. military veterans. Yep. A lot of them have lived here since, for years.
The Canal Days even.
Yeah, I mean, the Canal Days when, they were on either one of the military bases, and they just stayed, and, they're practically Panamanian, but we have new veterans moving down every day, So what I do is I run our veteran services program, and basically what that is, one, it's to ensure that they have the best experience possible, right? Because most of them have quite a few health issues, that they got from their time in the service, and so they need a lot of medical attention, and they need medical specialists and doctors that speak English. The communication is key, right? Like, especially when it comes to healthcare, communication is very important.
Huge, yeah.
They also have military benefits that they can use outside of the United States. One is the foreign medical program, which it's basically, in a veteran in the United States, they can go to any VA hospital, and their care is free. And that's their right as a military veteran. They have the right. They have all their benefits. They don't pay, and they get good health care. They'll argue whether or not it's good there at the VA hospitals, but they have that, and they can count on it. It's different when you get outside of the United States, and so the foreign medical program, basically what that is it's, the veterans can use their VA health benefits, but they're more limited. And so with the foreign medical program, you're covered for service-connected disabilities. So let's say a veteran has PTSD, maybe, spine injury that he sustained that still affects him, so they're disabled. It would be hard for them to go out and work for various reasons. So they get free care, 100% coverage for those service-connected disabilities. And with the foreign medical program, we provide that service where we bill the foreign medical program so these veterans don't pay anything out of pocket as long as it's related to their service disability. And that's huge for them. It's an amazing coverage. It's limited in the sense that if you come into the hospital for something that's not on that list of disabilities, you wouldn't have coverage. But, for over the last year and a half, we've become the main hospital for veterans. They get registered with the hospital with their foreign medical benefits, and, we take care of them. We provide, it's like I said, it's the experience. They come in from the moment they get in there, whether it's in the ER, just to see a doctor, have a surgery. We make sure that, it's as a good experience as you can be. No one ever wants to be in a hospital.
No, of course.
But if you have to be there,
unless you're having a baby.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But if you have to be there, if you have to be at a hospital, Pacifica Salud is the best option. And then TRICARE and Champier, which are other benefits for the veterans, more like insurance.
Yeah.
We also accept those. When we accept an insurance, that just means that we direct bill the company. So
cool.
That they would the
veterans
makes
it easy for them.
Makes it easy for them. They pay a copay or deductible, and we cover the rest. So it's minimum out of pocket. And so being out of the United States and not having VA hospitals, it's a great option for that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, I appreciate you and all that we had to talk about today. Now, I want to bring on Melissa. Melissa is a new friend of mine who we just actually started working with her development and actually her development group, a couple of different projects. But Melissa, you're from Colombia. You've been here in Panama. I just want to talk to you a little bit about life in Panama and what you think about your lifestyle here.
Great. Well, I'm so happy to be here with you, Austin. So happy to know you, to work with Do Panama, of course. Well, what brings me here is kind of a long path. I'm from Colombia, as you mentioned. I studied marketing back home, then lived a few years in the United States between San Francisco, Chicago, and, seeing how develops works on those cities, how lifestyle meets wellness. And now, I've been here for about 5 months. After 3 years working on a bank, I decided to come here to Panama because just brings me the best of the United States, I feel, and the best of the Latin people and the culture. And of course, as you guys mentioned, safety is one of the points I do appreciate the most here. And well, that's what brings me here. I'm so happy in Panama so far.
I love to hear that you love us gringos, But no, it's been such an honor, not only myself, but my team of brokers, they have nothing but great things to say about you and about your projects. Our clients, when I talk to our clients, even after, they go out with our brokers and they meet with you, I always do follow-up calls or I have a dinner with our clients. And, one of the things we hear about your projects all the time is just how much quality and how much excellence and thoughtfulness goes into each of these projects. Talk to me a little bit about developers and where you come up with some of these concepts. I mean, you have some of these wellness centers on the top of buildings and you're building a project out at the Amador Causeway that's just gorgeous. And then, of course, the new one, Bioma, that we're really big into. That's in Costa del Este, it's a popular area. Talk to us a little bit about your company.
Well, yes, developers, we have been in the market for about 10 years. And I mean, some projects that has been a success, Victory Sport, Victory Wellness. Now we're coming with Bioma, with Cava Rosa. And it's not just to throw towers, as I mentioned, it's why we do that, right? We love to combine this lifestyle. I love to be on Doble, where I live, and I can grab a coffee downstairs. I can go and have partners in the gym, and I can go to do some yoga. It's just combining what people likes and meet that target. People who likes lifestyle, people who likes nature, and we're so happy. I think what comes next is amazing. And
you guys are great at building ecosystems.
Yeah, right.
I feel like with your projects, you have so much life in the building where you don't always find that in a lot of these projects. And for me, being that I have a son, I like to be home. I am a very extroverted person, but I'm also people don't see me behind the scenes. I'm very introverted too. When I'm home, I want to be able to go to the gym. I want to be able to go boxing. I want to be able to go to the pool. And having all of those, be able to go play ping pong or pool table or, all of these fun things with my kid, it's just such a special element. And I really love, again, not only the amenities that your projects offer, but the design aspect, the quality behind it. Obviously, anyone out there that's watching this that wants to find out more, of course, we've done a couple videos already. We're going to be doing so many more. We just love working with you and your company. And again, not only us, not only myself, not only my team, but we hear it from our clients. And that's obviously, for me, the whole reason I do what I do is I have an addiction for helping people. I love when people appreciate, when we're taking them to see projects like yours. So, we first and foremost, from myself and my team, we appreciate you guys and all the excellence you guys put into your projects.
Well, likewise, I think Do Panama has done great. I love the way how you catch your audience. It's been such a fun time for me. And, working with your attorney and you, and it's just such a compliment. So I'm happy and I know what comes next together. It's going to be amazing.
Awesome. Well, thank you again, Melissa. Thank you, Mike. You guys are just amazing. Again, guys, if you want to see more about Melissa and her projects, go to our YouTube channel, Do Panama. You're going to be able to see awesome videos. We did one on Cabo Rosa. We did one on Bioma. We'll be doing more videos in the future. Again, I love having Melissa on. She's just a ball of energy. I remember our first video, and like once we turned the camera on, I mean, she's always amazing, but
you can't be in a bad mood when you're around her.
Yeah, she's just so nice and fun, and even our clients say that. So again, so much information out there. If you guys want to get in touch with Mike, please, Mike, let us know. How can people get in touch with you to talk to you about veteran services? I know there's a new Medicare Advantage programs going on. Anyone that's looking for information on healthcare in Panama.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that I forgot to mention, we're working on a concierge health program. So this is going to be big for expats because it's like a similar program at the Mayo Clinic where you pay an annual fee and you have all kinds of really good benefits. So I'll have more details.
So yeah, if you guys want more, definitely reach out to Mike.
But that's just that's in the works.
Awesome.
And so I'll be letting everyone know. So you can contact me. My WhatsApp. I don't know if you're going to put it on the screen, but it's 6614-1448. And my email is mkelly@pacificasalud. So I'm sure you'll get that on there. But those are the best ways to contact me. And I'm always usually available by WhatsApp. If I don't answer right away,
you'll get back to him soon.
I'll get back to you at some point, and if I don't, just send me another message because sometimes I lose messages, Ben. I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I lose them. So, I'm happy. I'm usually available. Happy if anyone wants to contact me with any questions regarding healthcare in Panama. I'd love to talk to you.
Awesome. Well, again, a huge thank you, Mike. A huge thank you, Melissa. Guys, remember, if you're interested in Panama, check out our website, dopanama.com. We have a free relocation survey there. It's 23 questions. It's multiple choice. It'll take you 3 to 5 minutes to complete. Once you submit that survey, my team will get in touch with you, some general information, and then set up a complimentary 30-minute Zoom call with myself. You can also find our real estate network with listings from all of our affiliates. I mean, we have 147, 148 affiliates throughout the country of Panama now. So again, putting all of these listings from all of these different independent brokers and real estate companies all in one place. And of course, if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, just reach out to my team, info@dopanama.com, or via WhatsApp to the number you see on the screen, or me directly, +507-6767-9710. And we'll make sure to get you in touch with one of our in-house brokers that will go out and shop out all your information and your specifics to find you your perfect property. Because I know that you might like this one and you might like this one, but you're going to be in love with this one. And I want to make sure you find the one you're in love with. That's what we do at Do Panama. And again, we work with awesome people like Mike and Melissa to make sure you guys always have a great experience. So again, we thank you for joining us on this episode of Pana Gringo. Again, the podcast for living in Panama. However, until next time, ciao.